Hi, I'm Amber Watkins, Director of Alumni Relations at the Krannert School of Management, and I am joined today by Jayme Fuller. Jayme is the Vice President of Operational Excellence Practice for APAX Partners. Welcome.
Good morning.
We are so excited to have you.
I'm delighted to be back.
Okay, so let's just walk back from the beginning and let us know, why did you choose Purdue University?
Sure. So I'm a Indiana kid,
Yeah.
and I grew up really loving math and science and wanted to be an astronaut. I still want to be an astronaut, and now it's actually possible, which is great. So I came to Purdue actually to study aeronautical engineering. When you live in Indiana and you have this great resource right at your footsteps, it was a no-brainer. It was the only place I applied.
Oh, awesome. And so you became a Krannert student studying management
Yeah.
here. What was it about the management field? How did you transition from astronaut to a manager?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I actually went from aeronautical engineering to construction and engineering management, and through a series of internships, while I realized that work would be interesting, I also thought people were sitting at their desk most of the time. And I'm much more of a people person. And I thought the ability to actually move into the management program would give me an opportunity to, in my career, engage more with people and leverage the thing that I liked to do the most, while still actually taking those problem-solving skills with me that I learned in the engineering school.
Yeah. So you graduated from the Krannert School, and you have since had a vast career, varying levels of experience, leading teams, B2B sales across technology sector. Can you walk us through your career and some of the highlights through that?
Sure. While there was a number of different sectors and industries, the thread that comes through my entire career actually is sales. I think very, very highly of sales as a vocation. In fact, I worked at the Purdue Exponent when I was here at Purdue, managing the sales department for advertising. And so it gave me the opportunity to learn a lot about the companies I worked for, because I was not only the face of the company to my customers, but I knew what customers were needing, what they were thinking, and really being able to kind of drive that back into the company and making sure that that was meaningful feedback. Throughout my career, though, I also had the opportunity to lead sales teams, which is different in kind from being a salesperson altogether. It's probably one of the hardest jobs, is to be a frontline sales manager. You've got a lot of different personalities, a lot of different experiences, a lot of different motivations on the team. So I think that was a uphill and a steep learning curve for me to kind of switch from being an individual contributor to a sales manager. But kind of once it clicked, I was able to do that in a number of different companies at IBM and Yahoo, and then at an IBM business partner, which was my first lesson around networking and using the people that you've worked with in the past to help you find your next role. And then I came to Corporate Executive Board, a DC-based company, and I was there for 13 years. I had the opportunity to go back and be an individual contributor for a while and kind of establish myself and build my credibility at a brand new firm. And after 13 years, I got a little itchy. I'm always looking for the next professional challenge. And so I resigned from that firm and actually became a consultant, almost accidentally, in fact. I resigned not knowing what I was going to do, which was not risky, but scary. And previous colleagues and peers started calling and saying, can you come do some work for us? Can you come do some work for us? And before you know it, I was doing consulting work. And where I'm at now at APAX Partners is actually a hybrid of a couple of things I've done. I'll be advising and consulting companies on their sales and go-to-market strategy for the companies that my private equity firm has bought or invested in.
As I listen to you talk about your experiences, the one thing that really sticks out is the way that you've really been able to hone in and master the skill of leadership. And that's so important for our students to hear. What would you say makes a great leader?
Well, first I'd say I don't think I've mastered it.
Okay.
There's always room to develop and professionally grow in that regard. I spent a lot of time kind of studying on my own, not through academics, kind of the psychology of what makes people tick, and we call that engagement. But I tend to think about a couple things when I think about the teams that I lead. The first is everybody brings different experiences to the role, and not just professional experiences, but life experiences. And it's important to understand what those are, because everyone also brings a different value system to their role. And it doesn't mean that their values need to mirror my values, But I need to recognize what those values are, respect those values, and make sure that I'm creating a working environment that allows those values to continue to be part of their DNA and how they kind of perform and how they show up at work.
Yeah.
I also tend to think about treating people fairly, which is not always the same as treating them equally. And that really means needing to get to know the people that are on your teams. And every day you are trying to earn their respect. You're trying to build their credibility. They're watching what you do. And so just like children watch their parents in some regards, they're going to often mirror what you do as a leader,
Sure.
what you say as a leader, how you talk to people. And so really kind of making sure that you're behaving in a way that you want people around you to behave is really important.
Yeah. So as you're back on campus and thinking about your time as a student, how would you say that Krannert helped prepare you for the career that you've led?
Mm-hmm. It was really evident when I was here that you needed to show up and be professional, whether that was meeting with other alumni or your professors, how you engaged with folks here on campus to start with. And Krannert really also helped prepare me for the interview process. They were very instrumental in getting opportunities for internships available to students. The one thing I think that set me apart from a lot of students at graduation was that I had 3 summers of actual work experience, in addition to the work I was doing, actually leading a team at the Purdue Exponent. But curating that type of resume, as it was at that time, was something I couldn't have done without Krannert. So I'm eternally grateful for that.
That's great. And ultimately, you're here today to speak to our students, and we're excited to have you. What is one thing that you hope they walk away from after hearing you today?
Sure. I thought about this quite a bit in preparation for the session. And I think back to kind of my frame of mind when I was about to graduate, that what I need is a plan. I need to have a plan for the next 40 years, where I'm going to work, how much I'm going to make, where I'm going to live. And I spent a lot of time and energy, I think, trying to make that plan happen. And if you would look back 10 years ago, we'd say, you're on track, your plan is working. But over the last 5 to 7 years, I started working off the plan. And again, not necessarily risky, but scary at the same time. So what I would leave the students with, or I hope they take away, is you should have a plan. There should be a blueprint. And at any moment in time, you should be prepared and ready and excited to throw the plan out the window, to iterate on the plan, to pivot the plan, and to try new things, even if that means taking risks, especially if that means maybe failing. Because that's where, for me, most of my personal and professional growth has come from. And I think I wish I knew earlier that's okay if the plan changes.
Very important message, I think, for our students to hear, especially as they're thinking about their careers after leaving here. So, Jayme, we thank you so much for coming back, and we're excited to put you in front of our students today.
I'm humbled to be here. Thank you.
Thanks.